Yo, I think I'm gonna take it back to the basics today. Or rather, my basics from like 4-ish years ago? Salutations, everyone. My name is Pietro, and welcome to today's video. I am a little festive today, as you can see, because we are getting close to the holiday season, and we are gonna have some time now towards the end of the year where we have some celebrations with our families. Some of us are going to celebrate Christmas. Some of us are going to get to spend time away from school and all of that stuff. And I am the type of person who really likes closure and finishing cycles and all of that stuff. So I felt like it was appropriate for me to do a little bit of a gag. And I will likely be wearing this funny little thing for a little bit now because I just do like to make myself look like a clown sometimes. And today, a quick story time actually. I am going to play Tron today, and I have to say that this was probably the first deck in Pauper that I decided was my deck. So I played Tron incessantly for a good number of years when I started out in the format. The deck was very different from the one that we see here, but not actually as different in the sense that, sure, a lot of the cards weren't printed yet, but a lot of the cards were also just like worse versions of the ones that we have today. So it's not really that much of a difference, but I mean, the cards are different, but the strategy itself has not changed that much in the years. So if you're not familiar with this is a Tron list. It is a assemble your Tron cards, get a bunch of mana, and then use your bunch of mana that you have access to cast spells that generate value. This is very much a control deck in the sense that you're going to be drawing cards, you're going to be searching for answers, you're going to be controlling the board, and all of that stuff. And these are all things that I actually like to do. I have shifted away from that sort of strategy in later years because I just think that I played it too much in the past, and now I'm looking for different things. But I also gotta say that playing a deck like this in Magic Online is very different from playing a deck like this in paper, because my experience is that in paper you're there to play Magic, and playing your games faster doesn't mean that you're going to finish your rounds faster. You are at the mercy of the other players in the room. So a lot of the time when I played in paper, I enjoyed the feeling of going there and playing with the cards and having some fun and enjoying my time and actually taking the hours that I am at the LGS to play Magic. In Magic Online, that is different. I also had a lot of trouble with this deck when I first started on Magic Online because it is very click intensive. There's a lot of looping, there's a lot of priority interactions and things like that. And that was not super easy for me when I first started out. However, this is a deck that has fallen to the wayside in the last few years. There was a time where this deck forced a bunch of bans. Like, Prophetic Prism was once banned because of this deck. Expedition Map was once banned because of this deck. And um, until today, Bonder's Ornament is likely banned because of this deck as well. Once they unbanned Map and Prism, the deck exists. It sometimes performs well. It has its pilots, it has the people who really enjoy playing it. But overall, this is not one of the top decks in the format anymore in the same way that it was once. So, what is the main strategy here? It is assemble Tron, get your big mana, cast your spells that usually are overcosted, but you get to cheat on mana, and then you eventually assemble some sort of unbeatable board presence. You can either repeatedly Pulse of Murasa your creatures back to get access to a lot of life and a lot of value. You can lock your opponent's combat out with something like Stonehorn Dignitary, and then your opponent never gets to attack you. You get to do something like wipe their board turn after turn after turn, and then eventually they concede. You get to just make a bunch of mana and fireball your opponent with the Nyxborn Hydra, like put it on a Mold Drifter, attack your opponent for 20 points. winning is usually trivial once you have stabilized. And this is the type of deck that stabilizes like no other decks in the format. Now, important things to note here. Number one, I am playing Fiery Cannonade because I don't got the breath weapons. And yes, I could go and buy the breath weapons, but if I do that, then I might have to put more money into Magic Online depending on how my next videos go, and I would rather not do that. So I am just going to play the Fiery Cannonades with the understanding that if I get completely destroyed by Goblin Tomb Raiders in one of the matches, it is my own fault, and I am okay with that choice. I actually took this list from a very recent 5.0, and I love whenever Tron 5.0s, I always check the lists. A lot of the times, there's usually some cool like tidbits or different things that people are playing. And the core of the deck itself revolves around Muldrifter, Mnemonic Walls, Mystical Teachings, Ghostly Flicker, a bunch of impulses, and the artifacts that we have. What are going to be our tutor targets for today? Because this is a Mystical Teachings deck, so we are going to have a lot of 1 or 2 offs that we get to tutor up for some specific situations. We are going to have the aforementioned Fiery Cannonades, we have the Pulso Marasas, we have 2 Ghostly Flickers, which are eventually going to be our end game card. We have a Singleton Ephemerate, because the Ephemerate is just really good at generating value when you haven't stabilized the board yet. We have the Crop Rotation, which is a great card for you to force your Tron, because sometimes you don't naturally find your Tron pieces, and then you need to force a situation where you get to assemble Tron so you can pull ahead on the game. And sometimes Crop Rotation is really good for that. Crop is also going to double as an instant speed way to search for Bojuka Bog against Spy and all of those decks. The mana base is actually something interesting that I want to touch on in just a moment. We also have a Singleton Moments Piece. We have more in the sideboard, but main deck is a single one. But the Moments Piece gets paired with the Stonehorn Dignitary, which is a card that you can't tutor up, but it is much easier to lock your opponent out once you have Dignitary than it is with Moments Piece. We have a pair of Weather the Storms as just extra life gain for the aggressive decks. And then we have the Interaction Suite, which is a pair of Prohibits and a Singleton Unwind. Now, if you're a familiar player here, you might be saying, oh, talk about the combo. All right, I'll mention the combo, but I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time that it is really unlikely for me to combo out in this league. I think comboing with Tron in Magic Online is one of the most miserable experiences that you can have, and this comes from a guy who has recently played Goblin Combo and has recently played things like the Guilty Conscience and what's the other thing? Nomad Zen Core, Infinite Life deck, and things like that. So, if you are out of the loop, there is an infinite combo in this deck, which is you need to generate Storm, let's say like I think 5, I don't exactly remember, but you need like 5 Storm. You then cast a Weather the Storm, put a bunch of copies of it on the stack. You then unwind one of those copies, you untap 3 towers, and you make 9 mana. Once you have 9 mana, it is exactly the amount of mana that you need to use a Energy Refractor to filter blue. You then Ghostly Flicker your Mnemonic Wall. You actually flicker both Mnemonic Walls. And then once you flicker those, you get back the Unwind and the Ghostly Flicker. You unwind one of the copies of Weather the Storm that are still on the stack again. And doing both of these costs you 4 mana each, which is 8, which means that at the end of the day, you still have 1 colorless leftover mana. And then you do that. Oh, wait, my Roomba's in the room. Hang on. All right, sorry about that. So you have 1 colorless mana left over, and then you get to continue the loop. Once you have infinite mana, it means that you have infinite castings of Weather the Storm, which is infinite life, or you can just kill your opponent some other way. If you have something like an Impulse, you can repeatedly cast your Impulse to try to find your Hydra to try and put on something to then attack and kill your opponent. or your opponent can just concede out of pure misery and whatever. We also do have a singleton Murmuring Mystic in the deck, and the Murmuring Mystic is pretty good in the combo situation as well, because you just make a ton of birds and then eventually your opponent dies. So the combo exists. I know how to perform it. It is really unlikely that it's gonna come up. And if it does come up, I'm not sure if I want to dedicate time to performing the combo. In paper, it's really easy to do once you understand how it works, because you just explain to your opponent and then you can do the loops um, as many times as you want. But in Magic Online, it's not great. I talked about the mana base that I wanted to mention, and the reason for that is that this is the first time that I've seen Generous Ant being played in a list like this. So traditionally, the Flicker Tron decks sometimes have like a volatile, not volatile fjord, the volatile fjord that is not a snow land. Anyway, you usually have one of those. You sometimes have something like a contaminated aquifer or something for the black mana or whatever. In this case, we are just playing a pair of basic islands, a pair of tangled islets, and the conduit pylons for color mana. You will notice by looking here that we are not playing Lorien Revealed, and that is one of the things that have made me the most interested in this list, because Lorien Revealed is such a banger of a card, especially in a deck like this. And this player decided to, I'll find their name in a moment, and this player decided to play Generous Ant instead, which I totally respect. Generous Ant, really good at stabilizing against a lot of the like mid-rangey core Sky Fisher type of decks. It gains you life and all of that stuff. Also, Generous Ant is much easier to get back with Pulse of Murasa than something like Lorien Revealed, which you can't. So I understand their choices here. But it is a different sort of situation. The Generous Ant here does not search for untapped mana, and we are also playing just 18 lands, which is a little low. A lot of these decks usually played like 20, and then you had space for like an extra bit of utility sometimes from your mana base. Sometimes you would play more than one conduit pylon. Sometimes, well, I'm not gonna go too long into this. I could talk about this deck for a really long time. Again, I've played it for a really long time as well. Let's go to the sideboard, which is the thing that I am always interested in when I see Tron decks like this. We got the full 5 interaction against red, which is just needed a lot of the time. And I believe I did a little bit of fiddling with the sideboard here. I am playing 4 red blasts, whereas the original list, I believe, had like 5 of this effect. But we have another Fiery Cannonade, another one cast into the fire, and 1 Ancient Grudge. Ancient Grudge here is mostly for Nile Spellbomb type decks, because you do need the graveyard to do your loops and whatnot, so the Grudge is a fine thing to use. Another Fiery Cannonade is obviously for elves and decks like that. Cast into the fire, good against Fae, good against things like Jund, exiling Blood Fountains, and things of the like. You do have another Moment's Peace. I did add 1 Heritage Reclamation because I think this card is really good in this deck. There's always something that you want to hit. There's always some sort of artifact or enchantment against Bogos to give you a little bit of more time, and it's just good against Spy as well. So I think that this is one of the best decks to take advantage of Heritage Reclamation. And then obviously, I would never leave home without my singleton copy of Dinrova Horror. This is one of the cards that I enjoy flickering the most in Pauper. Sometimes you just turbo out a Dinrova Horror, and as soon as you show a Ghostly Flicker, your opponent concedes, because you get to hit their land, they have to discard a card, and then you flicker it, and then you do it again. Sometimes you even hit like a token, and then you kill the token, and they have to discard a card from their hand. It's really good, but it is the type of thing that you're only going to bring in against other slow decks. Things like Alter Tron, Familiars, Jund, the decks where you have the time to set up a 6-drop like this with a flicker effect. So this is one of my favorite cards in Pauper. I'm very sad that it doesn't see more play, but I just really enjoy flickering this thing and sending my opponent's lands into oblivion. So that's the deck tech. I imagine this video is going to be a longer one. I'll do my best to play fast so I don't time out and all of that stuff. But if you're playing Tron, you know that sometimes this is the kind of thing that can happen. And also, I think that this is one. Okay, wait, let me organize my thoughts. Traditionally, I think that this is one of the decks in Pauper that has the highest ceiling. It also loses to itself a bunch because we are a 18, in this case, land deck playing 12 colorless lands, and 12 and a half if you count Conduit Pylons. And then you need a bunch of things to go right. But when they go right, the amount of power that you have here is unrivaled. There is no core Skyfisher synthesizer loop that is going to be able to get more value than the kind of stuff that we have access to here. So hopefully we have some fun. Hopefully we get to Tron some people. And that's gonna be it. I will see you guys in the matches. Let's go. All right, and welcome to round number 1. Oh, my thing's all weird here. Okay, so we are on the draw against Otacon. This, unfortunately, is a one-land hand, meaning that I do need to mulligan. This is not great, but it is acceptable. I believe with both Flicker and Ephemerate, I think I'm just gonna send the Flicker away, and I'll keep the Pulso Morasa Weather the Storm. Okay, opponent plays Island and passes. Let's see what we got. The Bojuka Bog has the potential to be really good. My situation here is that I could either play Pylons or Power Plant. If I play Power Plant, it means that I'm trying to spike the rest of the Tron lands. If I play Pylons, it means I'm trying to set up my game plan and I'm okay with not being able to assemble Tron until turn 4 at the earliest. I am just going to play the Power Plant here and pass because I don't know what my opponent is up to. Island doesn't tell me anything. Lorien Revealed also doesn't tell me anything. So I'm going to play the thing that doesn't require me to make a choice. Okay, so it's just land and snacker. Could be blue-black control, could be honestly a bunch of things. Since my opponent tapped out, I am going to take the chance, I'll keep a map, sure. I'm going to take the chance to resolve this Prism, which is great. So I know I'm not under immediate pressure. Is there a ninja? Okay, no ninja is good. Ooh, spicy. Dihada's ploy. Oh, we're playing blue-black Eidolon. Heck yeah. I'm so excited. This is great. If you haven't seen, I played a list kind of similar to this one a while back. So, do I want to just Bojuka Bog them immediately so they don't get any value from this? If I do that, I can't pop the map, but I can play the other map. Sure, I'll just go Bog right away, and I'll just play a second Expedition map. I am not under that much pressure from the snacker, and I would like to remove my opponent's ability to generate advantage from the Eidolons or the Dihada's ploy and all of that stuff. Okay, they got another one, and it's another snacker. Okay, but they drew the card early. Escape Tunnel. What is going on? So the Murmuring Mystic is good, but I'm not gonna go for it just now. I am okay just cracking map number 1. I got a power plant, so I'll grab a mine, play the mine, and then I'll pass the turn. Make it seem like, I mean, I guess I am representing something in Weather the Storm. Are we multiple colors? No. Then what's up with the Escape Tunnel? What you got over there? Another land. We're just gonna go Lorien? Sure, makes sense. Snacker gets to come back. Take 2 more. Sure. Okay, so let's pop the map, grab the tower, and this is where we start to do a lot of stupid things. So I'm just gonna go blue, filter, 4, play the Mystic, pass the turn. And honestly, if they try to kill my Murmuring Mystic, I'll save it, but having Pulso Morasa doesn't, like, I'm not even that worried about my Mystic dying. Yeah, I'll take 4. That's cool. I don't know how much removal they're gonna have. Is this another Dihada's ploy? Oh, they have another snacker. Cool. Sure. So, snackers aplenty. They discard another Eidolon. That's fine. I guess I should pop this. Still with the Escape Tunnel. I am just going to... Mana. I am just going to Weather the Storm here. so I can get a bird. And not only a bird, I also just want to stabilize my life total a little bit. Okay, I don't mind wasting that mana. I just want a business spell. Yeah, that's amazing, of course. So I'll play the blue because I want more mana. Play the wall. I don't know if my opponent is playing any sort of interaction package, counter spells or removal spells or anything like that. Okay, they're cracking the escape tunnel. You do have a counter spell? What is this? Abandon attachments on the Eidolon. Okay. I mean, I guess you haven't discarded yet. Okay, they discarded the Eidolon. My opponent is drawing a bunch of cards, which I guess is good for them. Ooh, they had a foil discarding the 4th snacker. Cool. Sure. So they have 5 cards in hand. Foil does mean I need to be a little worried about losing my mnemonic wall. So I guess I'll just do this right away. Pulso Murasa on my mnemonic wall. And I just did it now because if they're playing foil, they might be playing other... Oh, I missed the point of damage there. Whoops. Because if they are playing foil, they might be playing other things as well. Like Abjure or whatever. I really like the addition of foil alongside the snackers and the eidolons and whatnot. I think that's really cool. So they are doing a more control-y version of the deck. Yeah, I'm blocking. You have another abandoned attachments? That would make sense, sure. So unfortunately now I am in a situation where, like, sure, I am sort of stable, but I don't have any business spells. I really want to draw a murmuring, not a murmuring mystic, a mystical teachings here, or something along those lines, so I can start to pull ahead. Okay, Refractor helps. Let's start with that. Urza's Mine is not really what I'm looking for. Let's just go Mnemonic Wall again. Another abandoned attachments, sure. Discarding the Eidolon once more. I guess they're fishing for a foil. They do have a lot of cards in hand. Oh, they did find another foil. And that's pretty unfortunate for us. Okay, so I am in a little bit of trouble now. I am facing 8 points of power in the air. And my opponent is just drawing so many cards. But they haven't shown a removal spell just yet. So, who knows? Is this another Jihadist boy? Oh, Vampire Hounds. Okay. Vampire Hounds is pretty fun. But they... Okay, I guess they're discarding the Eidolons. Makes sense. Because all the snackers are already in play. So my opponent is a very control-y version. They are also playing the Mob Lookout. Makes sense. Yeah, foil is pretty bad. Gonna be conniving on the Vampire Hounds. Makes sense. Okay, they just discarded a land. Okay. Help. Nice. That's exactly what I want to see. Teachings. I'm just gonna do this in the main phase right now. Okay. So Teachings gets me back Pulse of Murasa. Pulse of Murasa gets me back the Mnemonic Wall. I gain some life. I make some dudes. Play Yours is Mine. Oh, wait. I actually need to overpay for this, right? It is what it is. So, blue. I'm just going to play the Mnemonic Wall right away. And then the Mnemonic Wall is going to get back the Pulso Murasa once again. And I pass the turn. So, I guess now I understand that the escape tunnel is for the Vampire Hounds to try and cobble up some sort of combo kill. And it can definitely work. I am at 18 life here. I have blockers, but 18 life is not a ton. There's the escape tunnel. I guess I can F6 here. Oh, we're going for lethal? Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's very cool. I love this. Well, I can't block the Vampire Hounds, and I guess I'm already taking 12. So if they have any 2-color spell, I'm dead. Okay, they didn't. 3. Oh, Essence Harvest. Dang. All right. So there's a black and greatest power among creatures you control. Okay. So very interesting build. Very interesting. Loved to see that. Okay. So the Red Blasts are obviously going to come in. They are just going to be really good in this situation. Is there anything else that I want? The Heritage Reclamation for sure. I think they are slow enough that Dinrova Horror can have a place. This is 66. So Moment's Peace is good against the combo element that my opponent is playing. I guess I can get rid of a Weather the Storm. I don't really need both that much. Unwind is okay, but my opponent's interaction is 0 mana. I don't think I'm gonna go for that. I think having access to Fiery Cannonade is fine. It's not going to be amazing or anything, but I think it's okay. The Stonehorn Dignitary is not going to be great against an opponent that's going to have a bunch of free interaction. Nyxborn Hydra is fine. I think I can cut it. I think I would just rather win the game slowly with Dinrova Horror and friends. I still need 2 more cuts. Prohibit is okay. Cannonade's okay. Sometimes I feel like I just need a Cannonade to sweep the board a little bit. This is tough. Maybe crop rotation is really greedy if I'm gonna get in a situation where I can just get blown out. I think I'll just over sideboard by 1 and I'll be fine with that. I would like to play first, yes. This is weak, but I'll keep. I am banking on a Prophetic Prism pretty heavily here. Okay, that was just an island. Okay, would have liked to see the map last turn, but that's fine. Try the Prism. Sure. Nice. So I am going to have turn 4 Tron, and that's where I can start to derail the game a little bit. I really like the Vampire Hounds combo kill element. Sure. Dimir Aqueduct is fine. They discarded the hottest ploy, makes sense. Play the Urza's Tower, play the map, pass the turn. There's the Hounds. So guess I'll just pop the map, grab the mine, play mine, cast Mold Drifter. You got a foil? You do have a foil. Okay, so opponent 3/4 themselves, but they did just discard 2 lands. Well, I guess I'm passing. Fiery Cannonade, unfortunately, not great at answering Vampire Hounds. Aqueduct, sure. Dihada's Ploy. Okay, they discarded an Eidolon. I'm fine taking 2. 4 cards in hand. I guess I'll try to do the Fiery Cannonade at end of turn. Since I got the mnemonic, okay, that just resolved. Vampire Hounds down. Great. Pylons. What we have coming up. Bajuka Bog. Sure, I'll keep that on top. That seems nice. Let's Mnemonic Wall. Grab back the Fiery Cannonade. Always yes. Pass the turn. And I'm just gonna hold it like this so my Ghostly Flicker can either draw me a card or save my wall. Abandon attachments. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Mob Lookout. Sure. Discarding the Eidolon again. There's the land that we knew about. Honestly, I think I'm good just trying to flicker here. If they have an interaction, it needs to be foil. Dispel. Sure, that's fine. Untap. So 4 cards in hand for our opponent. Is this just a... So 7, 8, 9. I got 9 mana. 3, 5. Green. Generous Scent. Okay, that just resolved. That's cool. And I'm just going to Bajuka Bug my opponent right now. Take out their toys. Pretty good. You can draw your 3. Crack the food. Go to combat. 5. Map. Pop the map. So this is what I mean when I say that there's no other piece of... Maybe I should have gotten a colored land, actually. I'm just going to pass the turn here. My opponent has too much mana for me to... Not too much mana. Too many cards for me to just willy-nilly try to Ghostly Flicker. Okay. They have a lot of Aqueducts. Okay, Vampire Hounds is fine. I think I'll try to do the Fiery Cannonade thing. See if they want to get rid of something. They get rid of a Snacker. Okay, untap, Refractor. Sure. Let's take a redraw. Land is not what I'm looking for. So if my opponent has... I believe if my opponent has foil in hand or another Dispel, this is really bad. But if they don't, I think we are good. And unfortunately, I'm missing a Mystical Teachings here. Oh, they are playing the Sifters as well. That's cool. I have a lot of good draws still. Mold Drifter is great. Mnemonic Wall is great. Mystical Teachings, Impulse. Okay, they discarded an Escape Tunnel. Sure. We coming in? We are coming in. Okay, no blocks, buddy. All right. Heritage Reclamation is not amazing. Still think I'm going to be coming in. I guess I could have blocked the Mob Lookout. And I guess I'll hold the Reclamation to try and answer something. They have so many cards in hand. Okay. I'll block this time. Take 3. Sure. Another Snacker. Okay. Another Generous Ant is good. Swing. Okay. So green, 6. Make another duder. You're gonna hardcast a foil. Okay, so let's try to Heritage Reclamation. Get rid of one of your snackers. Take a redraw. Oh, great. Red Blast. Counter the foil. Cool. Is my Generous End resolving? Oh, they're gonna pitch cast another foil? Oh, wait, did my MTGO crash? I think my MTGO might have crashed. Yep. Okay. Foil too strong. Crashed my MTGO. Let's restart real quick because the clock is definitely a thing in these matches. Foil too powerful. And I saw that my opponent discarded an island, obviously, and they also discarded a Last Rites. So interesting to know that they are playing that also. Okay, we're back. So they pitch cast another foil. Hello. Okay. I unfortunately don't have the mana to do anything about it, but they don't have any more cards in hand either now. I guess I'm just gonna do this. And since there is a snacker in the graveyard, I do think I am just going to... Do I want to... Actually, I could just flicker the ant, right? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's just Ghostly Flicker. Always yield. Yeah, opponent doesn't attack. Makes sense. Take a draw. Impulse is great. So I'll just continue swinging. Opponent gonna block. Sure. I'm just going to try to do the same thing again. Did you draw an answer? You did. Let's try to impulse. Grab prohibit. Any order. Blue. Let's prohibit the foil. So this should be GG from now on, especially because now I just get to do it again. And this time I'm going to flicker here and, oh, I guess I tapped wrong. I'm just going to do this with a Bojuka Bog and I'm not worried about tapping out. I get rid of my opponent's goodies and they need to find like a removal spell maybe? Hardcast Eidolon. Yep, makes sense. Moment's Peace is great. Swing for 5. Down to 1. Sure thing. I guess I'm fine just passing here. Yeah, and opponent concedes. Makes sense. The problem is that I am down on time now. I was ahead before. So opponent is playing a ton of foils. I thought maybe they were just playing like a couple. No, they are a fully dedicated foil deck. Do I want to change anything? Probably not. But it's interesting to know that they also have Shipwreck Sifters and that sort of thing. This is fine. I'm keeping it. I got Interaction, I got Prisms, I got a Blast. And I am going to have to... Nice. And I am going to have to play a little fast here. 11 minutes is usually a lot, but we have already seen that this is a very grindy game. Okay, opponent's just passing. I'll just play the Pylons. I'll take a Tangled Islet, sure. Oh, actually, I should cast this now. If they want to counter it, it's fine. But I want to do it because I don't want to hold up mana for the Expedition map because I want the Tangled Islet that's on top. I don't need to assemble Tron super fast. I have time here. Great. Pass the turn. You gonna abandon attachments as well? I think that's okay. Discarding a Dihada Exploit. Sure. That's fine. Lorien. Do we have a threat? Do I care? I don't think I care about that. I'm just in the market for casting a bunch of Mold Drifters, so let's go Power Plant, untap, play the Power Plant, go blue, and I'll just start deploying Mold Drifters. Great. Yeah, that's excellent. Sure. Whatever I discard is likely going to be lost, so I guess I'll just get rid of the Weather the Storm. It's the least important piece here. I think I don't interact with anything that is not foils from my opponent. Dihada Exploit here is not gonna do a whole lot. Yeah, they discarded an Eidolon, that's whatever. Ooh, no 5th land. Percent is fine. Swing. And actually, I think I'm gonna go for that. See if maybe I can... Oh, but wait, I tapped wrong, right? This taps me out of Blast. There's actually no way I get to do it all. Yeah, whatever. I'm still gonna go for it. So in hindsight, the Tangled Island didn't help me a ton, but it is what it is. Yeah, they pitch cast, and I'm going to try to respond with a Red Blast because I have the mana left over. You got another one? Sure, that's fine. So my opponent answered my Generous End, but they had to 3-for-1 themselves to do that, and they lost a Vampire Hounds. Okay, they are going to recoup a lot of that card disadvantage because of the Eidolons, which is great for them, obviously. Okay, still no land. Swing. But my win condition is right here. Mold Drifter beatdowns. the classic. Another foil pitch casting. Yeah, I'll fight again. No. Yeah. I guess that's what I'll do. Cool. So that was a clean 3-for-1. I guess I'll just play another island and I'll pass the turn. I don't mind losing out on 2 colorless mana there. I still have access to a bunch. Nice. The aqueduct is what I wanted to see because now I get to Dinrova horror them and it's gonna hurt a ton. There's the Dihada's ploy again. That's fine. The Dihada's ploy is stabilizing their life total quite a bit, so I am beating down, but they are gaining a lot of life from it. Another spell bomb it's fine. I'm not super worried about my graveyard as of right now. So try to impulse. Yeah, I'll just take another Mold Drifter. Keep the card advantage train going. That's great, obviously. Cast another Mold Drifter. Sure. So 5, 6, I got 7 mana. I could Generous and honestly, I don't think I need to do anything. I'll just hold up Heritage Reclamation plus Prohibit. My opponent hasn't shown removal spells or Armors of Hadar or anything like that. I can't do anything about that, so it's fine. You can draw a million cards. Another Aqueduct, sure. And I don't think there's anything that I want to do here. Go to combat, swing for 6, that's the easy part. And play the Prism, take a draw. Nice. Don't mind mana. I have ways to spend my mana. Okay. They are hard casting a Sneaky Snacker. I think I'm good. No. Trying to exile it. Exile the Eidolon, I mean. I don't care too much about the thing, about the Snacker. Because I get a bird. I am just trying to clock my opponent here. They got 4 mana up. Always yield. Okay. Expedition map is great. Because it means I get to Bojuka Bog them next turn. Last rites. Well, I gotta answer that one, right? And if they have a thing now... Oh, actually, it's not that bad, because if they have foil... Do you have foil? Okay, you don't. Because if they had foil, they would need to... Yeah, and they concede. So, they conceded here because I just have an overwhelming board presence now. I still have a lot of cards. Murmuring Mystic is gonna get... it's going to absolutely stomp over them. And you can see what I mean here by top end. Our opponent didn't have a lot of early interaction, and since we just had 3 Mold Drifters, we drew so many cards, and they were our win condition. The Murmuring Mystic kind of sealed the deal, but I could easily have continued to play this game in a way where I am just attacking, trading with some snackers, and then eventually I deploy a Dinarova Horror, bounce their Aqueduct out of play. I know they didn't have interaction like spot removal, so even though foil was great, getting answering a foil for a single red mana and 3-for-1ing your opponent is a beating. We are now 1-0. Let's go to round number 2. All right, welcome to round number 2. We are on the draw against Vojbe with the Mold Drifter avatar. I am going to keep this hand and hope that we are playing a matchup where I get time, because I have blue and green, I have one of the Urza pieces. Okay, just an island and a pass. And I am going to start off with the Tangled Islet here, because if I just go mine into map, there's no way I can play on curve. And if my opponent spell pierces me or anything like that, it's just so bad. Okay, they're not doing anything as of right now. Instead of playing the Prism, I am just going to play a map. Okay, another map. Cool. Okay, I guess it is Blue Terror. Blue Terror, a matchup that is pretty hard overall. Yeah, Demon Fear and Sleep of the Dead. This is a matchup that is pretty hard overall because they just, yeah, if they have a quick clock like this, there's nothing I can do about it game 1, and they just get to still hold up interaction and do all of their shenanigans, so that's obviously not great. I am just going to assemble my Tron here. So I have the mine, let's grab Power Plant. And I can assemble Tron next turn and have 4 mana up. Please note, yeah, this is the problem. If my opponent, I was going to say, if my opponent has another terror, it's pretty bad because that shortens the clock significantly and they still get to hold up all of their mana and all their stuff. Okay, so I think my play here is pretty clear. I'm just going to assemble Tron and I'm going to pass the turn in an attempt to fog. I know the fog is not going to resolve, but I have mana for Spell Pierce, so at least I got that going for me. Dispel? Oh, ho, ho, ho. So really seems like my opponent has Spell Pierce in hand. Okay, this is great. This buys me so much time overall. Crop rotation, obviously scary, but if I get to uh, get rid of their graveyard, it's pretty good. Ephemerate is eventually good, just not right now. I would love to have something good that I get to do. Okay, another terror is annoying, but nothing I can do about it. Do I want to fight right now? I don't think I even fight, because I think I need to fight next turn. Because if I fog now, I'm still dead next turn. Nothing changes. 3 cards in hand, eh? And this is not amazing. Okay, let's float a blue. Crop. Sacrifice the blue, unfortunately. Okay, so that just worked. Still think I gotta get Bajuka Bog. That Sleep of the Dead is just very annoying. Okay, all right, try again. Okay, still not going great. The Pulse of Murasa now can gain me 6 life and I can get back my land. Deep Analysis. Is this the point where I fog? Probably. Fog. Okay, so I'm not dead, but I do need a ton of help here. Do I want to pulse a land? I don't think pulsing does anything. Okay, refractor again. Okay, so that's something. Also, Murasa back the thing. I'm not gonna go up to 30 life, so it is just 1 turn that I get to annoy my opponent some more. I think that's it, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go up to 20 life. I have like 2 of my 3 counter spells, but unfortunately I didn't find any business. I really need to find like a Mold Drifter here. Yeah, I'm just taking the damage. Doesn't do anything, I'm dead. Tough. Again, as I said, matchup is really hard, especially on the draw there. So let's bring in the blasts. Fiery Cannonade doesn't do it. Moment's Peace is pretty good to fight for control. I think I can cut a Weather the Storm. Grudge, cast. Nothing like that works. Heritage Reclamation can work. Dinrova Horror is okay-ish, but it's not great. Generous Ant is actually pretty good in this matchup. Prohibits are kind of whatever. I think I need the protect. I think Unwind is too expensive. Stonehorn Dignitary is also alright. My opponent is just much more efficient than I am, and that's the thing that concerns me. Maybe I don't get to play Crop again. I think Pulse of Murasa is a necessity. Yeah, I'm just gonna over sideboard once again, and it is what it is. Okay, on the play. Let's try it. Nope. I don't love this hand, but I don't think I get to keep mulliganing things that look like this. So I guess I'm bottoming the teachings and keeping the pulse, because pulse plus Generous Ant or pulse plus Mold Drifter are fine. I'm just gonna take the chance to resolve my expedition map now before a no and Spell Pierce get into the equation. Okay. I am just going to play the land anyway, because my idea is to pop the map. Lorien. Okay. Did my opponent mulligan? They also mulliganed. Okay. Ponder. Okay. They shuffled. Cool. Crack the map. I am just gonna crack the map here instead of trying to get cute with it. Grab the mine. That's fine. Ooh, Islet. Does that change what I want to do at all? Dang. I don't know. 3, 4. Honestly, yeah, I think so. Play the Islet. Oh, I don't have white mana. Yeah, it shouldn't matter. All right, I had some trouble with Magic Online. My opponent is casting a mental note at the end of my turn. There's a turn 3 terror. Don't love that. There's also a Sleep of the Dead already in the graveyard. Tough. Okay. I think I might just need to pass. Okay. Red Blast. Red Blast is really tough here. Sure. I guess I'll just play this. Pass the turn. Does that do anything? I think I send that away. And then I have the option of casting Pulse of Murasa in a bit. Okay, I think I take this chance to kill the Terror. And killing the Terror here is really good because it gives me a lot of breathing room. Deep Analysis again, that's fine. You can draw your cards, but okay, no 5th land because I'm on the play. Okay, Urza's mine. This is just a chance to hardcast a Mold Drifter. No Tron land. If I draw any untapped land next turn, I might just go for the Generous Ant. Okay, immediate Dip Analysis. That's cool. 8 cards in hand, eh? Looking for a threat. Yeah, I'll put it on top. Ooh, no threat? All right. I'll just cast a Generous Ant. 4 Spike. Okay, tough. Tough but fair. Cycling Alorian. That's interesting. So I guess you found a threat? Ooh, you did find a threat, and it's a really good one. Okay. Yeah, this is a really good threat, not gonna lie. I have 6 mana, unfortunately. 6 mana is not the amount of mana I would like to have. I can cast the Mole Drifter, but it's gonna be a little weird right now. I think I fire off an Impulse. Jeez. Not what I wanted to see. No lands. I guess I just go for another Impulse. I'm digging. Still no lands? Come on, deck. Yeah, I gotta take the Red Blast. And I'm not gonna try to fight this. I know my thing's not gonna resolve. I'll just try to play a Prism. Is this another Forest Spike? Okay, it's not. Brainstorm first. So I knew the Mole Drifter was on top, but then it was 8 cards deep and there were no lands. Yeah, I thought so. Forest Spike again. Sure. Can't pay. So game is not over, but it's really bad for me now. Missing on not only Tron lands, but missing on any land there, really bad. Now my opponent gets to hold up like pieces of interaction, and I hit the Tron land that I didn't want. My priority now the problem is I need to resolve a Mole Drifter, I need to kill the Mystic, I need to not die to the Serpents and to the Birds. Yeah, things are not going great, team. I guess I just gotta evoke this. Let's draw a couple cards. Tough, real tough. I mean, I'll try it. Dispel. Okay, I don't have the mana to fight it. Yep, I think we just got there. And now I don't think there's any way I get to recover from this. And you can see what I mean when I said at the beginning that sometimes the deck loses to itself. My opponent just has a ton of pressure and a ton of interaction. And I'm just gonna die next turn. It's gonna be turn 9, and I still haven't assembled Tron. Okay, try for the Impulse. Still nothing. Man. Yeah, that's like extremely unfortunate. I think I gotta take a Prism and hope. So I need to spike Tron, which I did, finally. I guess I try to go for the Prism. The resolves. Don't need that right now. How much mana I got? 7, 11. So I think I try to go for Generous Ascent. I mean, we're here, right? Might as well. I'll try to fight, but I know that it's really unlikely for me to succeed here. Yep. We got absolutely crushed by Blue Terror, like completely destroyed. So much interaction, so much cheap interaction, and a really fast clock. Not gonna be an easy thing to beat. I think we even had a good start there. We had a window where we were able to kill our opponent's terror with a blast, but then we just never found Tron. We were never able to secure a position, and then our resources were just spread incredibly thin. And again, our opponent didn't even show us blasts. They could have brought in blue blasts. They just had dispels and force spikes and all that stuff, and we got. It is what happens sometimes. The deck is really weak against blue terror specifically. Let's go to round number 3. All right, welcome back to round number 3. We are on the play against Cardboard Toad 2. This hand is fine. Just gonna go off of the Tangled Islet. See what we're up against. What kind of forest deck are you? Okay. Safe Right Quest. Forest or Plains. Okay. Why are we also doing Eidolons? Okay, grab the Plains. Prohibit is actually really good here. I'm just gonna play the tower and pass. Safe Right Quest. Is this just like a flex slot? Because this is basic, isn't it? No, it's not basic. Forest or Plains? Absolutely not. No, 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 no. I don't want a bunch of hawks. Thank you very much. I have no idea what is happening, but I don't want to face a but oh well. Got another one. Yeah, I think I'm just doing this and passing the turn, and I will likely just continue to do so until I find a second Tron piece. Oh, or Naya. So is this like a gates thing? I think I'll just counter this as well. Okay, looting. Sure thing. Discarded a landscape and another looting. Okay, sure. Let's cast that. See if I can find another piece. I can. Take it. Play the mine. And there's nothing really that I can do right now. So I guess I'll just pass. I am lacking in value place right now, but I get to at least play a generous end next turn. I don't feel like I'm going to die anytime soon, which is good. Okay, they found another hawk. Sure. Naya something. They do have another land. I don't see any gates just yet. I'm not gonna crop because I have a chance of naturally drawing the piece that I want. Well, we didn't. So it is what it is. Crop, get rid of the island, find the power plant. Power plant goes into prism. Gotta draw. Okay, that's good. I still think I would rather just cast a generous ant here. And I think there is something to be said for waiting on the generous ant till next turn. We flashing back looting? Yeah, that's fine. I think there is something to be said for waiting on the generous ant, but I am at 8 mana, not 9, so it's not a guarantee that I get to go ant plus flicker next turn. Oh, my opponent just discarded both of their Squadron Hawks. What are you doing? Why do you have Escape Tunnel and all of these things? Refractor, took a draw. That's good. Do I want to tap the... yeah, let's. So, Prism, tap, Impulse. Sure. Grab a Mold Drifter, play a land, swing for 5. Hardcast Mold Drifter, put a blocker in, draw a couple cards. Okay. I feel very confident, but I have to say that the Escape Tunnel is a little scary. I don't know exactly what my opponent is trying to do. I could even say that maybe this is some weird tribe deck. Sure, where's the journey going? Okay, passing of the turn makes sense. Unwind is obviously going to be good eventually. Refractor, Teachings. 5, 6, I got 7 mana. I'll swing. 2, 3, 3. Yeah, I'll swing. Let's see. Like, I'll give my opponent a chance to attack, and then we can see what they do with that. Manamorphose. Okay. It is looking like my opponent's trying to do some sort of weird Eidolon play with the lootings and the Safe Right quest and the Manamorphoses. Cram Session. 4 life and a lesson? Okay. Okay. I'm enjoying the jank. I just haven't understood yet what the Outlaw Medic is supposed to do here. Is there some sort of like red enchantment that you discard cards to pump your creature? Sort of like the crown. Okay, they just went for an abandoned attachment. Yeah, sure. This is all fine. I'm okay with everything that's happening here. Discarding another quest. Okay. Well, I am gonna try to eat that Squadron Hawk here. Flicker here and yeah, whatever. Flicker the prism. Guess I could have tapped the tower to do that. Always yield. Draw 2. Go to blocks. Kill the Squadron Hawk. Oh, I still have mana. Did I miscount? I don't know if I miscounted. Teachings. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for, honestly. Could just be another flicker. Could just... yeah, okay. Opponent concedes. Yeah. I also feel like my opponent was totally out of that game already. So the reclamation comes in. I think my opponent is dirtly enough that I want Dinrova Horror. I don't know if I want the blasts. They've shown me looting, they've shown me abandoned attachments, cast into the fire, fiery cannonade. I think all of these things are acceptable, but kind of weird. I guess I'll cut weather. Could even cut both weathers, honestly. Stonehorn is whatever. I think I'll cut the Stonehorn, bring in the other moments piece. That's 61. I think I want access to a fiery cannonade. I don't super need it super fast. I guess my opponent could have red blasts in the deck, right, for me to bring these in. But they didn't seem you know what? I'm not gonna bring in an additional moments piece. My opponent seemed dirtly enough. Sure, I think I'll just go with this for now, and then I'll try to gather some more data. I'll keep it, but this hand obviously has some huge problems, right? I don't have colored mana. Sure. Yeah, see, it is Eidolons. Told you guys. Yeah, cool. Real cool. I have thought about some Naya piles. Oh, it is Tribe. Okay, I was thinking originally about it possibly being Tribe, but then I was like, what is my opponent trying to do by playing something like Outlawmatic? Okay, so I'm in danger. I could die now. Like this turn. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely need the blasts. Okay. Dang, that's crazy. Oh, am I just gonna die? Aurora Eidolon? Is this Inside Out? Oh, I'm dead. Dead turn 3. Okay. Dang, that's really cool, opponent. Good job. 13, 17, 21. Yep. Dead. All right. Okay. That was fun. Okay, so the moments piece get to come in. The blasts definitely get to come in. I don't know if I want all of them. but I guess I can think about it. I can cut a pulse, I can cut Dinrova, it doesn't make sense here. Unwind is fine, Fiery Cannonade is still fine. My opponent might be trying to do some sort of weird, like, transformational sideboard type thing. So the Blue Blasts are to ensure that I don't die to the combo aspect. Now, I would still need to cut a bunch of things here. Murmuring, do I need this? I guess I am a little low on win conditions. Maybe I don't need. My opponent sent in the chat. Now you know the dark secret. It's a green tribes deck, as janky as it can be. Yeah, absolutely beautiful opponent. Good job. I think I still want a Pulse of Marasa, probably. Weather the Storm can be good. I maybe I can reconsider Heritage Reclamation. Stonehorn. I think Stonehorn is gonna be worse than some other stuff. Okay, I'll bring in 4 blasts. I guess I'll still keep the crop. I think Heritage Reclamation has lost its interesting aspect to me. Dang, I honestly don't know what to cut here. Do I just cut like a Generous Ent? But Generous Ent is a beatdown piece. I guess when in doubt, I'll just cut like an artifact piece. I guess the Refractor. Let's try that again. Yeah, this is fine. I have a piece of interaction so I don't die early. I got Prism. Yeah, things are okay. Now I guess the question becomes, which land do I lead on? Opponent has mulligan to 6. Am I leading off of the Islet? I don't think so. I think I am just leading off of Tron lands. There is a decent chance that I spike here, and being on the play, unless my opponent goes exactly like, yeah, unless they went like Plains Tribe, I have some time. Play the tower, play the Prism, take a draw, and then next turn I can start deploying other lands. There's the tribe. Okay. Scary. Scary. Sure, I'll play the land and pass. Impulse was a great draw because I get to keep up Blue Blast and I get to Impulse at the end of turn. Now, I could still die here. It's not impossible. It is a little unlikely, right? Sure. Squadron Hawk is fine. Okay, so I'm not dying right now, but this does put 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Okay, they have a land. That's fine. Every point of damage definitely matters. I am actually going to impulse like this. If I hit a crop rotation, I might want to cast it. So Expedition Map means I get to Tron, but Blue Blast gives me another layer of protection. I think I'll take the extra layer of protection here. Conduit Pylons. Is that what I'm trying to do? Yeah, I think it is. Do I want the 3rd one? I mean, I guess I'll keep it. I don't feel like I'm going to die to the fair beatdown plan, so I just really want extra protection against the combo aspect. And I'm hitting my land drops. I have my pieces of interact. Oh, okay. Eidolon getting discarded. What you got? Thrilling Discovery. I was going to say Thrilling Discovery is a great card. Yeah, I think I don't interact with anything that is not the combo aspect, and if my opponent wants to clock me for like 2 or 3 a turn, I'm good. Love the list. Love the list. Really fun. Rancor. Okay, that increases the clock significantly. All right. Sure. Yep. Yeah, take 4. So I know I got a blast on top, right? So I do think I'm actually just going to cast Ghostly Flip. Oh, wait, let's actually do it the correct way. No, wait. Tap, blue, tap, 3. Flicker the pylons, flicker the prism. And I'm just gonna do this to use my mana. I do want to draw first because I already know what I got on top. Draw. Surveil. I think I'll just send this to the graveyard. It's like drawing a card. Okay, just drew another one anyway. Well, the Rancor is a good mid-range plan. 3 mana. You cycling? Heliod's Pilgrim. Okay. What are you grabbing? Are you grabbing another Rancor? Good God. Tree Folk Umbra. Opponent, you are a god among men. Holy moly, dude. What a list. Yeah, I'm fine letting you discard a card. That's cool. Just another Squadron Hawk. Sure. Jeez. What a list. Cast this Impulse. See if I can Tron up. Cannot immediately. Guess I'll take the map. Tron. Unfortunately, I guess I gotta miss a land drop here. Tough. Okay. Treefolk Umbra. Treefolk Umbra is actually pretty cute because it is another inside out essentially, and it dodges the blue blast removal suite. Are you casting it? Is that what's going on? This is a great list. Congratulations, opponent. I love this. Yeah, you got to do your threefold Umbra. Threefold Umbra plus Rancor is kind of anti-synergistic, but I guess theoretically my opponent has lethal now. So this is just a 3-3. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just taking it. Let's see if opponent wants to discard anything. Okay, so this is 9. I'm still okay. Okay, so now this is lethal. I guess I'm forced to cast the Moment's Piece. All right, not dead. Teachings. Okay, so oh, wait, no. Let's crack the map. Got the mana. Was not expecting another one. Yeah. So got the power plant. Tron up. I got 8 mana, meaning I have 2 moment pieces in the graveyard. And I think this is just a turn where I'm going to flashback one of them. These blue blasts are gonna rot in my hand. When the game is finished, let me know if you have 4 moments piece or you just got lucky. So I am just going to pass here. This mystical teachings is likely going to go get an ephemerate. Manamorphose. So, do I want to get rid of the Eidolons? Do I even care? I don't think I care. Because I could get rid of the Eidolons, but it would cost me. I guess I could have blue blasted that, right? Maybe that would have been a good choice. Just get these blasts out of my hand. Rancor again. Yeah. That's fine. Tribe again. Sure. So this is 7 damage. Now this is going to be 11 damage, right? 10, 11. Yeah. Let's Moment's Peace. No damage. Teachings. Go grab the Ephemerate. Tap. Would really like to find another land here. Did not. 5. Wall. Wall gets back Moment's Peace. And I can just pass the turn, right? I don't think I need to commit to the Ephemerate line while my opponent has mana open. So my opponent is theoretically locked out of the game if they don't have interaction. If they have interaction, they get to keep playing. But they are gonna... Oh, inside out on my wall. Yeah, that's cool. That is definitely a thing that they can do. I guess I'm gonna go off of the Urza's Tower. They know I have the Ephemerate, so I don't know what they are aiming for. God, I haven't had a mnemonic wall hit with an inside out in such a long time. I guess I can just take the flicker back. I'm just going to always yield to these things. Let's cast the Moment's Peace. So I guess the only card that I'm worried about right now is Flaring Pain. Always yield. Let's rebound. Rebound here. Get back the Ephemerate. Unwind. Okay. So do the Ephemerate thing again. Ephemerate the wall. Target the Moment's Peace. Always yes. Always yield. Take a draw. Guess I'm just going to... I still have 1 colored mana here. That might be a little too aggressive for my taste. Sure, let's just pass the turn. Again, I could have blue blasted the inside out. Maybe I should have. The Ephemerate is just so efficient. Yeah, I'll just get rid of one of these. Discarding the Eidolon, sure. I'm just gonna always yield to this dude. Thrilling Discovery. Okay. So this is already lethal, meaning that I already have to cast this. So I am just going to cast it right now. And then if it resolves, I'll start to get aggressive with my plays. Okay, it has resolved. So I think I am going to hit the Thrilling Discovery with the blast here. And I get to F6. See if my opponent has a red blast of their own that they want to shoot after my mnemonic wall. Okay, they're just going to discard the Eidolons, abandon attachments. Yeah, sure. Oh, I guess I could still die. Not right now, but I could still die to Flaring Pain if I go super aggressive like that again. Tough. Honestly, I just want to draw lands. So where is my exile thingy? Cast the Ephemerate on the mnemonic wall. Pick it up. Still no lands. Okay. Let's evoke a Mole Drifter. That's so busted. Yeah. Draw 2. Still no lands. Holy moly, dude. All right. You can die, little Mole Drifter boy. I guess I'll keep 2 layers of mana still. I got a white from the pylons. Sure. Let's just evoke. I am going to find lands eventually. Okay, found a land. No response. Mole Drifter can die. Play a land. I can gain 12 here? Is that good? Oh, I guess I don't have the thing in hand right now. So, yeah, I think I got a little ambitious again. White. Whoop. Ephemerate the wall again. Pick up the Moment's Piece. Yeah, but that's not great because I misplayed now. For sure. Guess I'm just getting rid of a thing here. I misplayed here for sure. Casting the second Mole Drifter was greedy. A Wild Field Border Post. Okay. I think they took a lot of inspiration from Curb's list because Kerblinksy played a Jeskai version of Tribe. So 7, 10, 11. This is already lethal, meaning that I do need to just cast this. Benevolent Blessing? Okay. You're gonna give it pro white? Okay, that's cute. Benevolent Blessing giving it pro white. Okay. They just discard another Eidolon and a landscape. That's cool. So, oh, I guess I needed to respond to the trigger. No, because I can't right now. That's unfortunate. Okay. So guess I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Let's make some mana, flicker here, and flicker the tower. Well, GG. All right, opponent conceded. They wanted to know about if I had the other moments pieces or not, and I just told them the things that I had in the deck. A little unlucky for them that I drew both of the moments pieces, but at the same time, Tron is really good at digging for the pieces that we need. My opponent conceded there because apparently, I guess he was locked out of the game. They didn't have access to Flaring Pain, otherwise the game definitely continues. It is what it is. We are now 2-1. Let's go to the next round. All right, welcome back to round number 4. We are on the play against fsst. FSST. I think I played against them recently. I don't remember what I was playing or them. Yeah, this is fine. It's a hand that doesn't, like, these are the kinds of hands when you're playing Tron that the hand could literally be anything. You could find the pieces you're looking for. You could just not. Your refractors could help. But it's a functional hand, so it's a thing that you keep. Land into Ponder doesn't fill me with excitement because it might just be terror again. Okay, opponent just shuffled. I am gonna cycle this Generous Ant, grab a Tangled Islet. Even though Generous Ant can be pretty good here, there is no guarantee that I'm going to be hitting my land drops. So I want, at the very least, to have my third land drop available. Brainstorm, sure. Demon Inferior on a Refractor? I guess I mean, I'm gonna send it to the bottom because I'm just looking for Tron lands, but sure. I guess they're just trying to fill their graveyard, which I guess it makes sense. Do I just go for another one? Yeah, while they're tapped out. Refractor number 2. So the Tangled Islet would be fine next turn. I think I am still going with the Power Plant because, again, if I spike the tower off the top is just excellent. Mental Note, getting rid of 2 spells. Okay, so I can get hit by a terror right now. Ah, come on. The classic turn 3 double terror. Yeah, and I can't even play my Murmuring Mystic just yet. Impulse, see if I find the tower. I did. So that is obviously great. My opponent already played 1 Demon Inferior. I'm just going to play the Mystic while it's harder for them to have an answer for it. And if I untap with the Murmuring Mystic, it is very likely that I just win the game. I don't love seeing Brainstorm here because, again, it can mean that they find another Demon Inferior. No, why are you like this? Why? 3, 3, 4. Play the thing, but then I don't have mana. So play the Refractor, draw the Mystic, play the Mystic, 2 colorless. That doesn't do it. At the very least, I need to be out of range of straight up dying. 7. I have 8 mana, not 9. So I can't do the Generous Ant play. Okay, what if, so play Refractor, draw the Mystic, flicker my lands. Okay, I think I got it. So let's make 4 mana here. Flicker Tower and Refractor. Do you have a... Okay, this is not actually as bad as it might look because I have the Unwind. So unwind the Dispel, untap here, here, and here. Make 3 mana again. Let the Ghostly Flicker resolve. Draw the Mystic. Play the Mystic. Green. Pull some Murasa back the Generous Ant. Make a bird. Play a Refractor. Take another draw. Play the Tangled Islet. Pass the turn. Taste it! How do you like it, Terror? How do you like having multiple spells getting answered in the same turn cycle? Yeah, okay. That was really good for us. And now I just get to start deploying my monsters. Okay, another Terror and a Cryptic Serpent. Okay, So my opponent is fully tapped out, which is great news for us. Ooh, tasty. Okay, how do I want to go about this? So evoke the Mole Drifter, draw 2. Okay, make a white, ephemerate it, get a burb, draw 2 more. Let the evoke trigger resolve. I have 4 mana left. I have a land that I really want to play. I think 4 mana is just Weather the Storm. Make another bird, gain some life. Yeah, makes sense. Weather the Storm, gain 9, make a bird. Play Bojuka Bog, exile your graveyard. They don't have any toys in the graveyard, but they definitely have a lot of power in play. But I should be good now. Okay, they found another Brainstorm. Sure. I got 10 mana, so not quite enough to do everything that I want. Jeez, the third one? Okay, all right. So block, take 10. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna block with the Mold Drifter as well. Oh no, I missed, no. Jeez, that was a big mistake. I forgot about the Ephemerate and Exiled. Tough. Yeah, that might cost me the game, honestly. Like, honest to God, that might be what does me here. I completely forgot about that part. Jeez, this is so bad for me now. Okay, did I overpay? Wait, I'm missing one? How? Oh, I have 5 mana. This sucks. I might still lose this game because I'm a dumbass. I needed to just take 5 extra, flicker the Mold Drifter with the thing, draw the card. God. Now I gotta think? I don't want to think. I just want to make my place. Yeah, well, let's impulse. None of this helps. There's not even an untapped land here. Am I really gonna lose because of like a block that I didn't need to do? Good God. All right, grab a prism. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Jeez, I completely fumbled this, didn't I? Yeah, I don't think there's anything I get to find here. Because I play this, I go there, I block, I take 50. Come on. Oh, all right. Completely threw the game away. Completely threw the game away. Jeez. All right. Now, my opponent did find triple Deem Inferior, which, again, come on. Can we not? But that loss was fully on me. I fully fumbled that game. That sucks. I'm very unhappy with my performance. I even had the pieces that I needed. Tough. Real tough. Guess I'm cutting the crop again. Now I gotta face the wall of dispels that is coming. Jeez. Need 2 more cuts. I guess I can shave like a couple refractors. Ah, no, the Nyxborn Hydra is not great either. Okay, shake it off. Try again. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that one's gonna haunt me. That loss was fully on me, fully due to my own stupidity. Land, map, go. Opponent's on 6. All right, okay. Play Island Pass. And I am likely going to have a window to impulse, which is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pop the map. Yeah, I already have a power plant. That's not the land that I want. Do I take it anyway? I don't think I do. I think I go off of the Tangled Islet. Let's... Like, I'll cast this knowing that it's going to get hit with something. Oh, okay. So am I going to get hit with 2 terrors on turn 3 again? Is that what's going on? Okay, opponent is playing with blasts, but they already have 5 spells in the graveyard. There's a terror. It's just 1 terror. Okay, that is a good card, but that is a good card that unfortunately doesn't help me right now. Again, Generous Scent does not get me untapped mana. So if I Generous Scent cycle here, I can just get a second Tangled Islet. Not that it's a bad thing. Okay, this resolved last time. Let's see if it resolves this time. It does. Okay, still no Tron. So, can't cast that. I can't really afford to miss my land drops. Cryptic Serpent. This is turn 4. My opponent has 16 points of power in play. Jesus. Okay, so I play the Moment's Peace in upkeep. If my opponent has a counterspell, I die. I can't even double cast it. So I guess that's it. Like, it is what it is. Grab mine. Play mine, play map, stop in upkeep. I don't think there's another line that I can take here. Die. Okay, that's not dead. That's just a mental note. Milling a counterspell. Cool. Oh, we game on? Jeez, okay. Oops, all terrors. Cool. All right. So pop the map, tower, play tower. My opponent didn't have a counter for Moment's Peace. 7. I do have 8 mana. So I guess I'm going for blue. 5. Wall. Pick up the Moment's Peace again. Cast it again. Okay, we game on. Opponent seems to be pretty flooded too. Okay, Red Blast is great. Play Mystic. Mystic resolves. So I get to hold Blast. 4, I have 6 mana. This is 5. Hardcast a Mole Drifter. Draw 2. Nice. Real nice. Pass the turn. Don't need to Moment's Peace just yet. I can let my opponent go to combat. Opponent is definitely flooded. So even if my opponent has some interaction, I'm good doing this. Pulse of Murasa on my Generous Ascent. Sure, you can mental note. That's cool. Milling a couple islands. I think I'm just going to kill one of those things right now to kill the Cryptic Serpent. Make another burb. Okay. Block. Block, take 5. And I think I take over the game from here. Ponder. Yep. Shouldn't you have cast that before going to combat? That feels lazy. Like, you have to imagine that I had something, right? Casting the Ponder pre-combat, at least you could try to find a thing. Okay, that's just another terror. That's not that great for you. Yeah, I feel like that's just GG. So let's just cast the Generous End. Swing for 2. 5, 6. I still have 7 mana up. Sure, I can just pass the turn. I'm not worried about dying or anything. Don't even need to fog. I am 8 minutes behind my opponent on clock, though. Deem Inferior on the Generous Scent. I'll try to flicker the wall in the end. Oh, my opponent doesn't have cards in hand. Yeah, the game is over. Target the flicker again. Always yes. Always yield. Mana. Blue. Flicker the wall. Flicker the Mole Drifter. Make a dude. Pick up the flicker again. Go to combat. Play a land. Play another Mole Drifter. I'm just trying to get a quicker clock in play right now. Pass the turn. Okay. You can have another Serpent. Sure. Okay. So block 1, block 2, block 3, flicker these 2, make a bird, get a flicker back, kill a thing, flicker here and on a tower. And I'm just doing this right now. Oh, pay 1, sure. And I'm just doing this now because I think there's a chance I have lethal on my turn. Okay, I don't have any more color mana. Sure, pass the turn. I didn't do the math. 10, 15. Okay, it's basically lethal, right? Swing out. No, you stay back. My opponent needs to block with the Serpent. Oh, no, it is lethal. It's exactly 14 damage flying. Sure. Okay, so we got there. What? Oh, no, my opponent's at 14. Never mind. Whoops. Yeah, I'll just pass the turn back. Sure, you can brainstorm. You can ponder. I'll just throw a wall here. Go down to 1 life. I could even double block. Whatever. Block. Here. Counter spell. Yep. Unwind. Grab the flicker again. Down to 1 life. Swing. Okay. So I have 7 minutes to win game 3. And that is tough. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a good look for me. I did take a long time thinking my lines that game. And I did mess up round 1. Not round 1. Game 1. I don't think there's any changes that I want to make here. I think that's just a resubmit and try to play real fast. Mulligan. This is the kind of hand that you keep and you die. I guess Mnemonic Wall is going. Oh, let's get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Play the Islet, pass the turn. Being on the draw in this game is absolutely terrible. Oh, no play? What is your hand, like a bunch of counter spells? Pass. Do you have like 3 counter spells, a land, and a terror? Is that it? Sure, you can brainstorm. I still don't think I cast my impulse here. If my opponent taps out, sure, I'll cast it. But otherwise, I'm good. Okay, opponent did not shuffle. Try for the impulse. Impulse resolves. I think I'm just taking the Generous Ascent because I need to guarantee that I have a land drop next turn. Jeez. Okay, somebody help. Mole Drifter is a great card, but it's never a card that you want to have 4 in your hand. Never. Never, ever. All right. Here's the turn. How many terrors you got? 1. Just 1. Jeez. Come on. Cast the Impulse. And it's the same land that I already have, too. That's a toughie. Play it past the turn. The only good thing that I got going for me is that it's a Cryptic Serpent and not a Terror. So if I do find red mana, I get to kill it or attempt to kill it on the cheap. Not anymore. Yup. Evoke. I'm good here. There's nothing I can do anymore. Unfortunately, I am just dead. Yep. Well, you saw how it is. I unfortunately threw away game number one, and that's not a thing that you get to do in this matchup. I made a huge mistake in game number one, and that came back to bite me because since I had game one on lock, it meant that I had to win 2 more games after throwing that one away, and that's extremely hard to do on the draw. So it is what it is. Let's go to the final round here and see if we can stay positive. All right, welcome to round number 5. We are on the draw against Luwu. Again, I don't think this is a hand that I can keep because I have no Tron lands, I have no function. Okay, so we finally found a hand that is sort of like the magical Christmas land scenario for the deck. And we are against Bogles. All right. So this is a hand that I just have natural Tron with a refractor, and I have the Mold Drifter and the impulses and whatnot. Since we are on the draw against Bogles, what this means basically is that we're going to have to see how fast they can Goldfish us. Yeah, that's pretty bad. A turn 2 Rumble, and all they found was a Rancor. So I'm not super worried about that. Okay, ooh, that's big game. That's exactly the card that I wanted. Okay, so now this game, what I need to do is assemble a lock. My opponent's not going to have any interaction to fight me, so I need to either assemble Ephemerate plus Wall plus Moment's Peace, or I need to assemble something like Wall, Flicker, Dignitary, something along those lines that would allow me to just completely wreck my opponent. Also important to note, my opponent's creatures are all small here, so there is a chance that I can wipe them if I find a breath weapon. Normally I would go for the Mold Drifter, but since we are in this situation, I do think I am going to go for the Impulse. See if I find the Cannonade. No Cannonade, but the Mnemonic Wall is obviously great. Any order. And I am just going to pass the turn here. Sure, you can Ancestral Mask all you want. That's still only 6 damage. Ugh, excuse me, I had to sneeze real bad. Okay. That's just 6 damage. I don't even need to do anything about that. Let's Impulse. Energy Refractor doesn't do anything. Pardon me. Like, I don't think anything here is great. I'll just take the Generous End. Okay, there's the Stonehorn and the Wall. So this is almost a lock. Let's white for... oh, honestly, I don't even need to do that, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna go Mold Drifter. What am I talking about? 3, 5, cast the Drifter. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold up Moment's Peace. I guess I can still cast the Prophetic Prism here. Take a draw, pass the turn. It's not even clear to me if my opponent has lethal. Rumble. God, their Rumbles have been real bad. That's Growth, Sprawl, Lifelink, and they can't even cast the Lifelink. I guess you take the Abundant Growth. Yep, they agree. Yep. So I guess they might have something like Ethereal Armor. Yep. Okay, so that would have been lethal. Yes. Okay. So green, Fog. Opponent doesn't gain any life. No need to block. Prohibit is great. So mine, blue, 5, Wall, pick up Fog. Always yes. Always yield. So I just need to leave up 3 mana for this. Play the Power Plant. Play Refractor. Take a redraw. I guess I could have been a little more efficient with my mana there. That's fine. You can swing. There's another Abundant Growth. Now, post sideboard, I do need to be a little worried about Crash, not Crash Through. What's the name of the thing? The green spell that deals damage. Oh, and goes face. Okay, Mold Drifter, sure. Let's blue, 5. Drifter. That's a lot of nothing, honestly. I guess it's the Pylons, because the Pylons digs me 1 deeper. Pulse. Pulse doesn't really do anything. White. 4. Stonehorn. Skip my opponent's next combat. Swing for 4. Or for 2, rather. Sure. And just pass the turn. I have a Prohibit if I need to, but I do need a little bit of help here. My Mold Drifter was pretty bad. Sure, Ancestral Mask doesn't change anything. Okay, I need help, deck. Come on. I have 1 more Fog, but after that, I'm sort of done. Green. Hardcast the Generous Scent. Play mine. Pass the turn. And there's an Armadillo Cloak. Does this card matter? So that's 19. I have like 7. I'm at 17 life. I don't think it matters. They're just swinging with this. So that's 22, 17, 20. For me to block and survive, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. So green, 3, fog. Honestly, I'm in a lot of trouble here now. I need to top deck, and I need to top deck something real good right now. Jesus, does this do anything? I guess I should have popped the food token. That definitely can have made a difference. This is just lethal, right? So let's bestow on the Mole Drifter. Go green, green. What? No, cancel. Let's just make all the mana. Okay, I got there. Took me a while to be able to tap correctly, but yeah. Go to combat. Just making sure it doesn't fly. Can only block creatures that fly. I just swing for 17 and my opponent dies. Okay. Wow. That was way scarier than I thought it was going to be. I was not ready for my draws to whiff that hard. Okay, so Moment's Peace comes in. Fiery Cannonade is a little iffy. So Heritage Reclamation definitely comes in. Now, all the other things here, I can make an argument for Dinrova. I can make an argument for Fiery Cannonade. I think I don't need Murmuring Mystic. And then everything else is possible. Dinrova is not the worst, but it's not great either. Weather the Storm is also not the best. I think that on the draw, I think I get rid of a Fiery Cannonade. Is that even true? Nah, I think I get rid of a Weather the Storm. Yeah, because I think that there are going to be more situations where maybe a Fiery Cannonade bails me out versus something like a Weather the Storm. Okay, this is not a keep. This is not a keep either. So I'm not going to 4. Hydra can go. Drifter can go. But this hand is just so incredibly slow. Okay. Opponent is coming out of the gates fast. Don't love that. Maybe I should have gone to 4. Maybe a good 4-card hand here is better than this 5. There's a dude. There's an armor and a rancor. All right. 6-4 on turn 2. Grab an Islet. Unwind. Okay. I feel like I'm pretty dead. Do you also have the Ancestral Mask to absolutely dumpster me? All right. Sorry about that. I am dead, right? I'm at 12. My opponent's got 9. I mean, theoretically, I'm not dead, but in practical terms, I am pretty dead. Ugh, that hat was making my head itch so bad. Okay, all right, dead. Not hitting a land drop here means I'm just absolutely gone. So, on the play, I think I'm more partial to a Cannonade on the play. Is that even true? Honestly? Maybe, no, I can't. Never mind. I was gonna say something stupid. Nah, honestly, nah, I think I'm good. Maybe I'm more partial to another Weather the Storm than a Pulso Murasa. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. So I just need a hand. I don't think this is a bad matchup, by the way. There are definitely things that can derail the game. Ooh, okay. So this is a weird one. Nice. My opponent's mulliganing to 6 and 5. Okay. So this is a weird one because I have 2 Tron pieces. I have the Prism and whatnot. But I am mostly banking off of Fiery Cannonade here. Okay, opponent has capped 5. Would I rather Pylons or would I rather try to spike the other Tron land? Being on the play, I think I'd rather try to spike a Tron land. Do we have a dude? We don't have a dude. Okay, on green. Interesting. Ephemerate's kind of whatever. Prism. I never didn't have it. Now, hitting Tron here is obviously good, but it does... I am still constrained by the singleton color mana that I have. That's fine. Do you also have the Ethereal Armor? Tough. Okay, so we game on. Because now it's a 3-3. It's out of range of my Fiery Cannonade. That's very unfortunate. Okay, well, I am just going to do this, right? Ugh. I don't like any of these cards, honestly. I really, really wanted to find another Prism or something like that. I think I'm just taking the Generous Ant here and passing the turn, sadly. Okay, cycling the Ash Barrens is fine. Okay, you don't have anything else? Wow. Okay, so let's go Pylons. Nope. And my mana's all weird, right? I can't do both. Yeah, I'm just, whatever. I'm just gonna cast my Generous Ant. Just gonna be mana efficient here. Make a dude, gain some life, pass the turn. My opponent didn't put pressure last turn, so maybe they can't beat a 5/7. Yeah, they're really flooded. Oh, I forgot that I can't block this. Whoops. Okay, that's obviously great. Blue, impulse. I'll take a second prism. Prism, map. Okay, hit for 5. Go map, crack the map, grab just an island, play the island. I'm just looking for more color sources here. And if my opponent's just attacking me for 3 a turn, I'm winning the race. I'm not doing anything else. Once my opponent starts to go crazy, then I'll start deploying my other things. That's an absolutely insane draw. And I think that probably seals the game. My opponent just mulliganed to 5 and flooded. Let's go fishy. Play this, refractor. And I think I could more or less click on cards randomly and still win this game. Jesus, my opponent has another land. Yeah, sure, you can cartouche. Don't care about that. Yep. Block, ephemerate, draw 2, untap. Oh, I guess I can still do this, right? I'll just take a flicker here, whatever. Any order, untap, draw 2 more, map, crack the map. I'm just doing this to get more mana, get more cards out of the deck. Swing for 5, sure. White, 4, play dignitary, skip your next combat, another refractor. Yeah, I think my opponent concedes to this, right? Because that's wall. Yeah, it's the loop. It's ephemerate, wall, and dignitary. GG's. Discard, cannonade, another land. Yep. I think my opponent only drew lands for all the game in a cartouche. Yep, makes sense. So chose black for Utopia's Pro. Yeah, I think my opponent was gonna have a difficult time winning even if they were drawing well. But since they're just drawing absolutely terribly, I think they are just dead here. Yeah, I got to teachings. I'm just gonna blow them out completely here. Get their heritage reclamation, make green, pop the ethereal armor, and then I kill their creature too. GG, keep up the amazing work. Thanks. All right, so we ended up 3-2. I'm not super excited about this 3-2, but let's go to our final thoughts and then I'll explain more about why. All right, let's wrap this up then. What did I feel about the list? First of all, you saw the power of the deck, right? We lost twice to the same exact deck, and one of those losses was very, very likely a win that I completely fumbled. So I think that Tron overall is exactly the kind of deck that people who enjoy tinkering and turning the nuts and bolts and the screws and like trying to find the perfect 75, this is the exact kind of deck for people like that. I think that there is a lot to be said about the current state of the format in regards to how fast it is. So when we are talking about multiple aggressive red decks, multiple terror decks that are very good at interacting and whatnot, things like Fae and decks like that, there is a Spy, which can just kill you turn 4 if you don't have an answer for it. I think that all of those decks are somewhat favored against Tron in different levels, but I'm not here to do a deep dive on the deck. What I think is that this is a good deck if you're the type of person who enjoys making a lot of decisions, who enjoys having a true toolbox, because I believe that this is the only deck currently in the format that we can actually call a toolbox deck. You have something like 10 different pieces in your toolbox that you can pull from at basically any time. And there are like 100 more options that are not here, which could go into your Tron deck. I think that this is a deck for people who like to play challenges or in-person events. I don't think this is a deck for you to grind on MTGO or anything like this, but there is definitely power here, and there is definitely a lot of versatility. Things that I enjoyed about the list. Generous Ant and Nyxborn Hydra all felt very interesting. I had never played with these cards in Ephemerate Tron before. Nyxborn Hydra, you saw, gave us a win against Bogos in that final match. It was just like a fireball that we could point at our opponent's face. Generous Ant felt pretty decent overall. I really like the versatility of just being able to put a big body in play and start clocking your opponent. With that said, I do think that we needed to have a forest, a basic forest in the deck for the situations where you really want an untapped land and off of your generous end. And again, it's not even a bad card to have. When you are playing Moment's Peace, which is a card that you want to play on curve and early a lot of the times, Crop Rotation, which again, same thing, Weather the Storm, Pulse of Murasa, all of these cards reward you for having the green mana to play them early on in the game. I really like Pulse of Murasa plus Generous Ant. I think that's an A plus. Pulse of Murasa Pulse of Murasaing back lands that you have sacrificed or cycled or whatever has been a long tradition in Tron. The things that I did miss, I missed not having a cycle land in the deck. That is a thing that these decks have had since forever, basically, usually like a singleton remote IO. I did miss the forest that I mentioned before, and I do think I miss Lorien Revealed in some amount. There were a lot of situations over the course of the game where I was like, okay, I have the mana and I can like play a Generous Scent, but if I had a Lorien in its place, it would have been like 3 fresh cards, and that would have been dope. So overall, I'm very happy with the list. I think we performed well, even though we played against 2 brews of sorts. And we lost to the decks that we were supposed to lose against. This was supposed to be a 4-1. I am very sure that if I don't mess up that game so badly, we win the second time against Blue Terror. And even though it is a bad matchup, you saw it is winnable. It's not something horrible like, I don't know, playing like High Tide against Blue Terrors or Fae or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed this. I am very pleased to play Tron again, even though it's not the kind of thing that I feel like I want to do all the time because it takes a long time. It took my whole morning basically to record this video. But overall, that's still fine. I enjoy coming back to this deck from time to time. I have a lot of love and affection for this archetype. And whenever I see it doing well, it makes me happy and fuzzy inside. So with that, thank you very much. I hope you take care of yourselves. I hope you have a great day. If you like to watch these videos early, you can go to the member section on Patreon, on YouTube. I also have a Patreon with extra content. And if not, that's totally cool. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you like these decks or you hate playing against prison flicker strategies like this one. And that's going to be it for me today. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.